All right, welcome back. Parenting looks a lot different than it did a decade ago, and many moms and dads might be leaning on old parenting habits that experts say might not be as effective as folks once believed. It's all in the eye of the beholder, but joining me this morning is parent coach and author Kim Muench to talk about the rise of cycle breaking and how families can start fresh. Good morning to you, Kim.
Good morning. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. How do you hope parents hear that phrase, cycle breaking? What do you want them to feel in those words and carry into their own homes?
Yeah, well, in this case, I want to talk a little bit about not carrying on parenting patterns, excuse me, automatically, not kind of like looking at what you inherited in your parenting or through the parenting that you received, and then not repeating patterns that were maybe based in control or fear or silence. So really looking at what you grew up with and choosing what didn't serve you and doing something different with your kids.
And how do moms and dads know when they're, not just parenting, but repeating that pattern that they once lived through themselves?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I say that parents know when they're triggered, when they're reacting instead of responding. There's a physical feeling that comes along with being triggered. For me, it's like the prickles come up the back of my neck when someone is triggering me, one of my kids in general. So parents think about like when you're in a excuse me, in a moment when you're reacting with your children, when you know that you're reacting instead of responding, what does that feel like in your body? That's your first clue. That's the first thing to look at. And then deciding from that point, what do I want to change about this? First, the first step is awareness.
So a lot of people listening to this might be thinking to themselves, oh, wow, that resonates for me. What's one cycle or habit that you think parents really need to let go of? What's the most common thing?
The belief that they have to be perfect to be a parent, that keeps parents very anxious and it keeps kids walking on eggshells. So it's important for parents to understand that our kids need us to be present. They need us to be emotionally regulated as much as possible, and also be that parent that if they do make a mistake or if something didn't go well that day, to be able to own that and to, say to their kids, that didn't go well today. I'm going to try and do better tomorrow, kind of thing. That is the kind of thing, not being the perfect parent is probably the most important thing that we can let go of.
And what should parents do if they start to feel themselves going down those old familiar habits that they grew up with?
Yeah, I'm going to say pick one thing. Pick not 10, because we can all be, over identify 10 weaknesses or things that we need to work on. Choose one thing. And it might be that you count to three before you say anything when you know you're being triggered. It might be working on your tone of voice. It might be asking a curious question to your kids instead of starting in on a lecture. Choose one thing and start there, because if you can make one positive change in the way that you are parenting that was different from the way that you experienced that maybe was a negative thing, one change can change the family dramatically. So just work on that one thing.
So working on one thing is a big deal, but if you're someone who's listening to this and saying, well, I don't want to be told how to parent, a lot of parents like to do things their own way. They don't like experts telling them what to do, but I'm imagining that you have some success stories. What's something you can share with us that would quietly shift the whole story in a home that maybe you've had some positive experiences with in the past?
Well, I think it's reflected in the kids actually more so that, I mean, the parents there that I work with in my coaching, they come because they know that they have things that they need to work on and they know it's related a lot to the way that they grew up. But I think when parents and kids have deeper, healthier connections, it's reflected in your children when you make those changes. So I want to not focus so much on parents, but say when your kids feel more connected, that you're a safe space, that you're a person that they can talk to, that's the real win.
Well, Kim, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's not easy being a parent, but always important to lend a helping hand. You do that so much in your line of work. Thank you so much for being on Daybreak with us.
Thank you.